For those who don't know, I'm one of the biggest Selkirk haters in the world. When I first started playing pickleball, my brother and I won a tournament and our prize was the Selkirk Power Airs. At the time, the Power Airs were the most expensive paddles on the market and we were so excited to try them. For a few weeks, I tried so hard to like the paddle, even adding my own lead tape setup, but no matter what I did, I just felt like the paddle sucked, especially for how expensive it was. But due to its recent popularity, I decided to give Selkirk another chance and try their SLK era. Let's see if it can convert me. As a reminder, this is more so a first impressions review, not a full review. I played with this paddle for a few days, so I don't have any insight on long-term durability. Shout out to Premier Racket Sports for letting me borrow this paddle. Check them out if you're in the Atlanta area. The eras come in two shapes, an elongated and a wide body. I'm a proponent of wide body / standard shape paddles, so that's what I went with. They only have a 16mm thickness option and it's a Gen 3 foam construction. When this first came out, the main thing being talked about was that its construction was essentially identical to the 11.6 Power Series. I haven't played with the Power Series enough to give a definite answer, but from what I've heard, there are some differences. Anyways, my paddle came in at 8.1 ounces. I usually add my lead tape setup to see if it improves performance, but unfortunately, when I tried, it didn't work out. This may be demo specific. On the butt cap, it's a little bit more of a slick plastic and my flick weight didn't stick on correctly. That's just why I didn't add a setup this time, but let's see how it plays on the court. In terms of pop, I think the Era is at a really good spot. It has enough pop for counters, but not so much that it's uncontrollable. I personally like my paddles to be on the softer side when dinking and dropping, but it to have enough pop when I need it for a counter. This paddle falls in that general category. There's probably a spectrum of pop where I think it's ideal, and this falls in that spectrum. This has more pop than the True Foam, and compared to its direct competitor, the 11.624 Power Series, this is a bit softer and less poppy. In stock form, the sweet spot and control is really good. I didn't really need any time to get used to it. I played pretty well with its stock, and my only complaint was that it's a little bit dead towards the top. Because of it, I just missed a couple of out the air dinks and flicks here and there, but nothing major. The paddles are relatively the same length, so it's not a difference in length. The spin and dwell time on the Era is pretty solid. I could dink pretty well with the Era right away, but I just noticed a bit less dip on my drives and drops. But that's coming from my True Foam 2 and 4, which are known for being able to shape the ball pretty well. That being said, I was pleasantly surprised with how easy it was to drop and reset with the Era. I initially thought it would be a clone of the Power Series, which I thought was a little bit too poppy for my preference, but I was instantly surprised with how easy it was to get my drops into the kitchen, and it was way easier to control than the 11.6 Alpha Pro Pegasus. With the limited games I played with this paddle, I felt like it was actually easier to get a good drop in than a good drive, which is typically the reverse because I usually drive all my thirds. The power is pretty good with the Era. I would say it's on the lower to mid tier of the power paddles. The serves and returns can go deep and fast, but I just think it requires a bit more effort than a Yola, for example. The drives hit hard, but nothing crazy. You can definitely keep them in if you have enough topspin. I really enjoyed the pop to power ratio in the front. I felt like it was a great amount where it's aggressive, but not too much. As a certified Selkirk hater, I have to admit that this paddle is good. This is definitely their best paddle that they ever made, and it seems like their SLK line has better paddles overall since they use more standard technology. This may be one of the better paddles I've played with in stock form, so perfect for those of you who don't customize your paddles. The Era is an all-around consistent paddle with no glaring weaknesses that I can see. I think this paddle is great for a consistent player who wants more offense. It has good power when you need it, but also is very solid in the soft game. I couldn't dip my balls as aggressively as I'm used to, but it could be just a me thing. I think it was just a super solid paddle given that I was playing with it stock the whole time, which I normally don't. All in all, a very good all-around paddle for a more all-around player. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment below what paddle you want to see next. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.